Because when we run that and roll it into Toronto, I'll tell you, for every Canadian kid, Ontario kid, whatever it may be, that was over the top. And for us looking back now, that was almost our Stanley Cup, because the environment around the building, the environment around town, the build up to the games, us going in there and Dwayne Rolson hammering him in game one. Dom couldn't play. He plays game one and game two. He wins the first game. We lose the second one. We're tied coming home, and we're feeling good about ourselves because we seem to have Toronto's number. When we started playing them more often, it was like they couldn't beat us for some reason.
Yeah, the border battle is going on for all season. I felt like we were in their heads, Razor, just during the season as well. And I felt good about the playoffs. To your point, that series was huge for a lot of Ontario guys we had on our team. Me personally, oh my goodness, all my buddies back home, my parents, my family. I did not want to hear about us losing this frickin' series. And, once again, no passengers. Every night, every game, we brought it. We didn't take any shifts off. The coaches had us going. We played for them. They coached for us. To your point, we were all on the same level. And I remember that bus ride back after we beat Toronto. It was the most fun I've ever had, and we just...
Well, as I say, it was the best 2.5 hours of my hockey career, because we're all together on that bus. Everybody that accomplished what we accomplished, guys crying, having a few beers, calling, our parents and families. And it was just something that you'll never forget it. It was a short thing. It was a simple thing, but it meant so much.
It really did. I agree. I had so much fun. Why do I bring that up? Because I remember it. It's very vivid for me how much, at that point, it almost felt like we'd accomplished something. No disrespect on Ottawa and Boston, but so many Ontario kids, Buffalo, Toronto, so close to each other, 2-hour drive. To beat the Leafs was just sweet. And, but I don't want to come across like we'd felt we've won anything. It was just a huge accomplishment for us. And I think that set the tone, for the finals. And so we didn't take our foot off the gas. We just finally realized, we got a shot here. We got a damn good team, man.
Yeah, it was almost like as soon as you beat them, you had the good time, and then it got real all of a sudden. The rest of it leading up to that, it was a lot of fun, and you continued. Things went our way. I'm not saying easy, but, we got to that point. It was like, whew, we're going to the finals. Okay, we're 2 teams left here. We got a 50-50 chance of winning this. And game one, we rolled in there, and it was huge. You scored in overtime. It was a big game. You did what we wanted to do. We went there, won a game, and getting back home, and we'll see where it rolled from there.
Yeah, I think we weren't as familiar with the West, Razor. So we played Toronto so many times during our Boston, Ottawa. We're very familiar with them. We weren't as familiar with Dallas.
Yeah.
So we were we didn't really know what we were getting ourselves into. They had a lot of horsepower. They were a good team. They were well-rounded. I think it's fair to say they had a little more punch up front, and we had great punch up front. They had good D. Once again, Dom had to play Belfour, which he did pretty much most of the series. Obviously that was a heavyweight fight. We came to battle. We friggin' left it all on the line. And obviously game one meant, it was the biggest goal of my career. And it was phenomenal. I'll never forget it. And it's always fun going back to Buffalo. That's one of the things that the fans like to bring up, was where they were when we won game one. But once again, in order to get to my goal, Preem scores a big goal for us. Dom plays great. But winning game one gave us hope. And we were like, hey, we're not just here for the dance. I think we can do some damage.
Yeah, that's right. That was June 8th, 1999, my birthday, first game of the finals. That was the only game I got to dress for. And it just sits there as one of the greatest days. I never got a shift in the game, but I sit there and I go, I made it. I did it. I was in the finals and it was fantastic. But hey, it's unfortunate the way it worked out. But we sit there and I go, it ended the way it did. And I don't think many guys walk away from it like they're bitter, yes. Are they disappointed? Yes. But we don't sit there and dwell on it. I don't like talking about it, but I don't look back and go, you know, it was the worst thing that ever happened to me.
I lost you there for a little bit, but I know exactly where you're going with it. We ended up at when that goal went in. It's tough to explain. Like your battle for 2 months. You're at war every other day, and it ends, and just everything leaves your body. It's an out of body experience here. You're so sore, you're injured. Everybody's hurt. Everybody's injured. Everybody's exhausted. It ends. And of course, we start walking down the hallway, and then there's that hole. His foot in the crease. I hear, just from what I recall, Pex was pretty fired up. Lindy's pretty fired up. I didn't. I had no idea what was going on. I don't think many guys did. But after finding out what happened, and we had to go back into the room, it was a relief. That's the only word I can think of. It was a relief that it was over. I'm not bitter at all, to be honest with you. I was so proud of our team in that year. And I really got a sense for the first time what it takes to get close to winning that damn thing. That's hard. That's really, really tough.
I know you heard so many times every guy say, appreciate it. You might not ever get a chance. If you do, it might be the only chance, and make the most of it. And, I can honestly sit back and say our team did make the most of it. We did what we could do. I don't think there's any part of your game you could look back and say, we should have done this differently. What was put in front of us and the way that our team played was exactly what we needed to be successful. And we just didn't, get it done at the end.
Yeah. I mean, you got to give Dallas a lot of credit. They, they beat us. I don't know if fair and square is the right word, or the right line, but I'll tell you what, it says something to not be bitter and so proud, and just know that those are going to be your brothers for a long time. I can't even imagine winning the cup and imagining what that feels like, but I'll take what we did. And I'm very proud of that. And it's interesting because I went on to play with other teams that won cups. I went to Detroit in 2002, 2003. They had just won a cup. And it's interesting, you're never going to get as close with those teammates because I didn't win a cup with those guys. And I kind of get that. It's very similar with the 99 team, Razor. It's almost like if you weren't on that 99 team with us, you just weren't in that war with us, right? It really was war. And, listen, everybody played a role. You not playing, me scoring that goal for your birthday. You know why I did that? I did that.
Yeah, I know. That's exactly why.
It made you feel better.
Thank you. I'll remember it. I'll remember your goal because I remember my birthday. Okay, that's great.
Didn't play. Listen, sorry, 1 second. You didn't play. But whether you played 18 shifts or no shifts, isn't it amazing how you didn't feel like you weren't part of it ever?
Oh God, no.
Every day. I mean, that's magic.
Every day,
that's amazing.
Every day.
That's amazing.
Everybody was in. Everybody. That's what's good because you know what? Even when they did the meetings and that, it wasn't the Black Aces. You guys aren't playing tonight. Everybody was involved because Lindy took the idea that you never know when somebody's going to need to be inserted in a certain position, and he made sure everybody was prepared every night. And that's the part I respect for it too, because you could just say, hey, okay, let me just deal with the guys. We got to get a game here tonight.
Yeah.
No, he kept it. He kept it that family atmosphere from start to finish, and I think that was really important. I give him a lot of credit for that.
Yeah, Lindy leaves and Rammer did a great job. There's no doubt about it. They played the game. They know what it's, and they made you want to play for them too, Razor, and
Yep.
that's important as a coach. Like, I don't think we had the team to like put it on our backs ourselves. We needed that coaching staff.
Yeah, we did. Absolutely.
We did. Yeah,
Yeah,
I agree.
no, we did. I just was. You're just amazed going into every series, every game, how prepared everybody was, and I think you had to be to play the game that we did, and because you couldn't just sort of sit back and go, all right, yes, we had Dom, but we didn't have that person to go score the goals. Yeah, you got to stop them, but you got to score the goals to win. And we didn't have those guys. That was spread across the board. Like there's 10, 12, 15 guys scored goals in that playoff run. It was so much of a team effort. It was so much of a team effort. It was crazy.
So it was just fun, your coaching staff that you played for, fans that you played for, like they're part of it. This is all part of it. So listen, I can't imagine what it'd be like when these guys win. We were so damn close. I really, really wish we did it. But that rally shows you what Buffalo's all about, man. And Buffalo sports and the Sabres, and I'll never forget it as long as I live. It's amazing the support that the Sabres fans gave us. And they only asked for one thing.
Yeah.
Work your tail off.
That's
all
it.
they asked.
That's all they ask. And they're happy if you do. Well, Jace, thanks, man. It was fun looking back and coming up with some old memories there, and look forward to seeing you again sometime down the road.
Yeah, I love you, brother. Thanks for doing this. Appreciate it.
All right, Jace. Thanks, buddy.